he would probably say, short track racing.
How could I forget to say that? Shout out to Texas Motor Speedway. In a matter of hours, they already had a promotion for the Joey Logano Denny Hamlin feud. It only took them a matter of a couple hours. They already got something. Here it is. Sorry, I just love that Hamlin impersonation of Logano. People were mind blown on Twitter when I posted that small clip of it by itself. Like, they'd never seen that small version of it, so you're welcome, I guess. I don't know. People hadn't seemed to see that in the past. I don't know why, but anyways, we're going to talk about what happened yesterday, some history, and just some stuff that's happened in the past between these two drivers and some history just between each of the individual drivers. It'll be a fun time. Anytime we get to talk about conflict in NASCAR, it's a good day. But first, we're going to talk about the on-track incident. Obviously, on track, Denny Hamlin was coming out of turn 4. Logano on his outside. He pushed Logano up the track, and Logano got pinched into the wall. It cut Joey Logano's tire down, and it didn't ruin his day. Joey Logano came back for a top 10, but it did ruin his top 5 finish. He looked like he was going to have a top 5 finish. He was having a pretty solid day. Ends up getting 8th out of it, so not terrible, but not as good as he could have done. Hamlin went on to finish 4th. With regards to that, I think that Joey Logano has every right to be upset with that. When you get forced into the wall any way, shape, or form, if you didn't initiate anything before that, I think you have every right to be upset, to approach someone after the race to say something about that. Because, I mean, Hamlin didn't even look like he knew he was there. But Joey Logano, he kind of did look like he intentionally spun out a little bit. Because in turns 1 and 2, he blew that tire and he just went straight up the track. He didn't look like he was going to spin out, but he did eventually spin out. So, I don't know about that, but I think that Logano did have every right to be upset with that regard. As for the post-race incident, if you didn't see it, I got different views on that. Joey Logano and Denny Hamlin looked like they were having a normal conversation, just talking about it. It didn't look like anything was escalating. It was all fine. I'm fine with that. I think drivers should be able to talk things out in peace. There was no one around them. People were looking at him, obviously. Some people I know get offended when you point, when you just stick up your finger like that, and Denny Hamlin did that. I don't know if Joey Logano is one of those people who gets offended by that, but Joey wasn't having it, and he gave him a little slap, and he ran away. That's a problem. I don't know if the point is offensive to Logano, but you don't slap someone and then walk away the instant you do it to go hide behind people, because that's... And then after he walks away and Hamlin approaches him, he turns around and acts all tough and starts trying to jump over guys that are bigger than him and stuff. And come on, Logano, man up. If you're going to hit someone like that, just don't you dare turn around. Stand face-to-face with them, so if they go at you, you too can go at it. That's a weak move by Logano. I understand you're upset with him. I understand you're pissed off. I'd be pissed off in that situation too. But if I was Hamlin, I would have done the exact same thing, honestly. If someone hits me that quick and walks away the instant they do it, I'd go after him too. And if I was Logano, looking back on it, if I slapped someone and quickly walked away, at the time, obviously, you're pissed off. A lot's going through your head, a lot of emotions. So you obviously at the moment are saying, no, I was right in what I was doing. But I think looking back on it, I think I did something wrong. That was stupid. And I think Logano should think that, because that was stupid, to say the least. You don't slap someone and turn your back to him and go hide behind people. That's just weak. That's chicken. So on-track incident, Hamlin's fault. Off-track incident, Logano's fault. As for that crew member who just freaking tackled Denny Hamlin like it was the WWE or the NFL, nothing has been released. Steve O'Donnell said NASCAR is looking into it. I expect him to be suspended or fined. That was a little aggressive. It was aggressive, over-aggressive. He just went out of nowhere and yanked Denny Hamlin to the ground. Joey Logano, Denny Hamlin, they won't get any punishments. I think drivers, okay, there's a debate. Should crews get involved? The only time I think crews should get involved is if the crews are fighting each other. Like, the crews should never go after other drivers. I think that's off limits. Like, no, that's a big no-no. But, like, last week with the Custer-Reddick incident, Tyler Reddick was in a headlock or something. That should have been punished, in my opinion. This week, I think that Joey Logano crew member should be punished. I mean, if anyone throws punches, if anyone sneak attacks like that, I think he should be punished. I think there were some suspensions handed out in the Gordon Keselowski fight a few years ago. One guy was going at it. He was just, punching people. One guy came up and, basically tried to snap Keselowski's neck. He obviously wasn't trying to do that, but it looked like it. And it was a little aggressive. Some suspensions and fines were handed out there. So I expect that guy to be fined or suspended. But just crew members shouldn't get involved with driver conflicts. If drivers are going at it, then the only people who should be breaking it up is officials, NASCAR officials, because let's be honest, crew members, that's a team. They're going to escalate the fight. They're going to see someone. It's like on a football field or a basketball court. If the Lakers are playing the Nets and a Nets player and a Lakers player don't like each other and they start fighting, both teams are going to get in behind them and start defending their guy, and it's going to lead to a big thing. Same thing with NASCAR. You see your driver and another driver getting pissed off at each other and starting a fight. You're going to go back up your team member, your teammate, your captain of your team. You're going to go back them up, right? So, I mean, I think they should stay out of it personally because it can get a little aggressive. And, I think drivers should settle it out themselves. But if crew members are in fights, it should be because they got hit by a car and it could have been avoided, and or because that's it. I don't think crew members should get too eagerly involved unless they're breaking up the fight. They should not escalate the fight at all. I agree with the majority of the NASCAR world on that. Now for the Hamlin-Logano rivalry. We've been seeing this for a few years now. Hamlin and Logano, they don't like each other. They used to be teammates, and then 2013, his first year at Penske, Joey Logano and Denny Hamlin had a couple run-ins. At Bristol, they had a run-in. At Fontana, they had a run-in. Denny Hamlin ended up getting hurt, and it was a big deal. Denny Hamlin kind of called him out for wrecking him intentionally, which led to his injury. It was a big mess. They didn't like each other. They've never really liked each other, to be honest. Gibbs guys and Penske guys have never really liked each other. We've seen so many instances with these two teams having rivalries. Kenseth, Logano, Keselowski, Kenseth, Keselowski, Hamlin, Logano, Kenseth, Logano, Hamlin. These two teams, they've had some problems in the past, and then obviously the big one, Keselowski, Kyle Busch. So we have seen some problems with these two teams before, so it doesn't surprise me that these two teams are going at it. But Denny Hamlin and Joey Logano, two rivals, getting a big rivalry, kind of getting restirred at a very bad time for both of them. If they start going at it and they start crashing each other and start wrecking each other, start destroying their cars, it could cost them a spot in the playoffs. So they can't mess with each other too much, maybe a little bit, but they cannot go out there trying to destroy each other. That would result in a very bad. It would escalate the situation much worse, to say the least. As for the history, that's the far history. We saw that Bristol, they had a little physical confrontation after the race. Fontana, they weren't able to because Hamlin was in an ambulance, but there were post-race words said. And Dover this year, a lot of people seem to be forgetting about Dover this year. I was reminded of it in the comment section of one video. But at Dover earlier this year, Joey Logano, he didn't even start the race. He came into the race 24 laps down because of a mechanical failure. So he was 24 laps down the whole race, and Denny Hamlin was trying to win a stage at Dover, and Joey Logano was racing him really hard for a guy that was 24 laps down. When you're 24 laps down, get out the way. Just get out of the way. You don't deserve to be in the fight trying to determine the stage win. Truex ended up passing Hamlin, winning the stage, I think. But that was a big problem. Hamlin was pissed off after the race, and Joey Logano was like, it's just short track racing, I can't do that invitation justice, but I tried my best there, and Dover's more of an intermediate track. But obviously, Joey Logano's like, I get paid to race, but when you're 24 laps down, you let the leaders go, okay? That's stupid. So I think Hamlin was already a little frustrated with Logano because of that, and Logano was frustrated with Hamlin. They already don't like each other. They've had an incident a couple weeks ago. So there was already some tension, some heat going into this race, going into this little feud. And when Hamlin put Logano in the wall, that did not help the situation. And when Logano slapped Hamlin and ran away like a little girl, that did not help the situation anymore. And that brings me back to this Tony Stewart quote from 2013.
You know, he's a tough guy on pit road as soon as one of his crew guys gets in the middle of it. Until then, he's a scared little kid, and then he wants to sit there and throw a water bottle at me. So
yeah, Tony Stewart said that. They had a little run-in at that same race that Denny Hamlin and Joey Logano wrecked each other at the end of the race. But that was very interesting just because I had forgotten about that. But Tony Stewart basically saying once he gets behind his crew guys, he's real tough. But other than that, he's not. I mean, he's not completely wrong. We saw yesterday Joey Logano face-to-face. He was talking to him. They were having a conversation. But the instant that Logano made it physical, he went to hide behind people. He went away from people. He went away from Hamlin. I mean, if you're going to slap someone, you stay there. You started something. You're pissed, and you just pissed them off. So you better expect something coming. And then the instant that Denny Hamlin approaches him, Joey Logano's like, all right, let's get it on there. Yeah. And starts jumping over his crew guys. I'm like, what the? Make up your mind. Like, are you going to fight him or not? Like, the instant you get behind your freaking guys, you're like, yeah, now I'm going to fight him. It's like, what? So, on-track incident. That's all on Hamlin. That's Joey Logano's fault. But I was going to say something else. I'm blanking out right now. But anyways, thank you for watching this video. Shout out to Ryan Blaney for just like totally stepping out of that fight with his crew guy. He kind of pulled him back. He's like, hey, get back here. I think I showed that at the beginning of the video. I don't know what I've done. I haven't done my editing yet, but the whole thing was a mess yesterday. Thank you for watching this. We'll get the Texas preview going. We'll get the round of 8 points situation. Then I got a special video with some Joey Gase gear. I got the first half of it. Joey Gase kind of responded on Twitter. I got the notification. That kind of distracted me, but right here I got a little surprise. I ordered one thing, and I got that, but there was a little more to it, and it's pretty awesome. I love you, Joey Gase. Thank you for watching this video. We are 1 subscriber away from 400, so someone should subscribe and make it 400. That'd be awesome. Everyone needs to like this video. That helps the channel out a lot. Subscribing, as I said, we're 1 away from 400. As many subscriptions as possible is great. And then sharing the video with your NASCAR friends, your NASCAR colleagues, I don't know. But people who like NASCAR, they want to see me react to stuff, see me, my opinions on stuff. Here I am. So send them this link.